Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. You know, in business or in our personal lives, when we're trying to get people to come on to our goals and help us out and be a part of the team, people want to follow others who sound confident. You know, expressing your opinion is very important if you want people to hear you. However, many phrases simply make us sound less confident. I'm guilty of using these phrases in the past, and I've actively had to work to remove the majority of these statements from my vocabulary. As I was thinking about these, most of us do use these everyday phrases without a second thought. You don't even think about it. They're just common they're woven into our society. They're woven into the fabric of our conversational metrics, right? But they can incredibly undermine us, I believe, and make us sound less confident. I want to jump right into a few of them now. I'm just going to run through these with you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. We've been at this 10 weeks. We have over 33,000 subscribers. I want to thank you all for joining me. So let's jump into some phrases that will make us sound less confident and make it sound as if we're not effectively expressing our ideas. Okay, the first one, the I think phrase, saying I think. Saying this out loud will make anything you say afterward easily dismissible by other people, and it's true. You probably never thought about it, and your subconscious believes it sounds okay to say it, but really it's not. Why not just say what you think directly without saying the I think part out loud? I mean, if you're confident in what you're going to say, why do you have to say, I think? And, I just think it makes you sound less confident. Let's move on to another similar phrase that you might be saying that I feel is very diminishing. I'm not sure, but. How many times have you said that? I'm not sure, but. And we use that phrase daily. I've caught myself saying it many times. It was just as common for me to say, I'm not sure, but as it was for me to say, I think, right? Try using a different phrase. Try using a phrase like, in my experience, or in my opinion, instead. This will demonstrate your confidence in sharing your perspective based on your knowledge and your experience. So when you say, in my experience, people want to hear that. People trust that you've had experiences in your life. How do we generally learn the most effectively? We learn through experience. So if you say something like, in my experience, or in my opinion, we're all about listening to other people's opinions. Give your opinions freely. Share your experiences, but identify them as such. Don't say, I'm not sure, because you are sure and you have a valid opinion. What comes out of your mouth is important and other people should listen to it. Don't diminish yourself. You're great. You're amazing. I believe in you. That's why I'm here working with you, because I think you're fantastic and I think you're going to nail this. If you don't know the answer, just say you'll find the answer or gather more information, but don't say I'm not sure, but, because it totally negates what it is you're going to say after the word but, okay? Another one that I used to say that I recommend avoiding to sound more confident is, I'm no expert, but. My mom used to say this all the time. This is an old phrase, right? But, when you're talking about expertise and people want to look to you as a leader, you want to make sure that you don't utilize I'm no expert, but, because if you're not an expert on the topic at hand, focus on sharing what you do know and provide insights with conviction of what it is you do know about the topic, and say something like, oh, here's another idea, or I have a unique perspective, or I have a unique view, and then you're emphasizing that you have a unique viewpoint or a fresh approach, and then you'll showcase your confidence in your ideas and your insights. Everything that comes after, I have a unique perspective, or I have a unique view, that generates others to listen to what you have to say and to articulate it, and then help you to develop the idea. This is a team effort. It doesn't have to be all you. It could be all us, right? So instead of using the phrase, I'm no expert, but, I recommend that you use, I have a unique perspective, or I have a unique view on this subject, and then give your opinion. I think that's a great way to handle things, and you know what? It'll make you sound more confident, and you're amazing. So show others what you know. Show others how amazing you are. Show them your intelligence, because it's beautiful. This thing on your shoulders here, it's the most complex piece of equipment that we've ever known as a species. The human brain is the most effective supercomputer ever known to man. And you know what? You have one, so use it. I tell you what. Another thing that I recommend not saying if you want to sound more confident is, this might be a stupid question, but I mean, how many times have we heard that? I mean, that as soon as people hear the word stupid come out of your mouth, there's just no way they aren't thinking that about you. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, you know, asking questions is perfectly fine, but you shouldn't have to apologize for it, right? It's self-deprecating, it diminishes your confidence, and it can undermine others' perception of your intelligence. So don't ever refer to anything you do personally as stupid. Have confidence, you know, use a different phrase like, I have a question. Just ask the question. Say, hey, look, I have a question about that. Not, this might be a stupid question, but, and then ask the question. We don't do that, right? We try to avoid that. We don't preface our questions with negative qualifiers. Just ask the question. Just say, hey, I have a question about this. People appreciate others who ask questions. So just ask the question. Easy enough, right? You got it. Another thing that I hear quite often, and I've said this in the past, that kind of diminishes others' confidence in us, is I'm not the best at this, but, you know, you don't have to be the best at anything. I'm clearly saying that you're not the best at something to somebody else weakens not only your confidence, but makes others doubt your competence. Okay? So I recommend refraining from that statement at all and use more confident statements that put you in a positive light. Say, in my experience, or from my understanding is a better way of saying that, you know, it's a better way of stating the question. Say, in my experience, and then give your experience, because you know what, you have value to add to the conversation. Provide the value after that statement. Or say, from my understanding, then you're pivoting the conversation to the point where anything that comes after that, and you could basically say anything, it may not even be a good recommendation, but it's from your understanding. It'll generate thought in others. They can then reinforce your understanding and bring you into the conversation so you can be a more effective partner in that effort, okay? So those are some of my pet peeves. I don't like that one. I also am not a big fan of I guess so. You know, I guess so. It's a 3-word answer we often give to questions when we're not sure, right? If I had $1 for every time I've used it, you know what? I'd have a lot of dollars because I use that a lot. I used to say that a lot when I was younger. I'd say, I guess so. You know, and all jokes aside, I guess so represents indecisiveness and uncertainty in front of others, you know, whoever they might be. So what I recommend doing instead is give a clear and confident response. Often alternative solutions are things like, instead of saying I guess so, say, I understand that, and then state the phrase or state your understanding. Others will be able to reinforce your point, help you to better understand if you have any weaknesses in your understanding, and bring you into the conversation with greater value add. Also make you feel like you're a more important part of that conversation so that you can generate more effective ideas, help solve solutions, and you know what? Just make everything better as a result of you being a part of things. Okay, so I think that's really important. Next, another thing that I hear people say quite a bit, and I've said in the past, is sorry, but. You know, and one thing I often used sorry, but in the past when I didn't want to offend somebody. You know, now we live in this politically correct world where everybody kind of gets a little worked up over things that we used to be able to just commonly talk about as a part of our normal narrative, right? So now we're all kind of gun shy, and we say sorry, but, and then give our opinion. And you know what? I got to be honest with you, but honestly, apologizing unnecessarily does nothing but undermine our confidence and others' confidence in what we're about to say. You know, when you say sorry, but, everybody kind of flinches, waits for it. You know, when's the other shoe going to drop? What's the punchline here? So don't use sorry, but. You know, in fact, don't unnecessarily apologize before you make any statement unless it's 150,000% necessary, okay? Just find more effective ways of stating what it is that you were going to say without having to make the apology, okay? I would avoid starting any statement with sorry, okay? You're not sorry. You're an intelligent individual. You are effective and have the ability to communicate in ways that make others feel great. And your ideas are worthy and they provide value to the conversation, okay? You can do it. You're amazing. So just don't start conversations with sorry. And I think people will look at you more confidently, and you'll have a better conversation overall and be a better fit to whatever the group think is that's going on at that point in time, okay? One other thing, it's very similar, that it's almost like an apology, but it definitely makes us sound less confident, is I may be overreacting, but, you know, it just suggests a lack of conviction, in my opinion, and can make others question our judgment. So when you say I may be overreacting, you're letting everybody know that, you know, you're undermining yourself, basically. You're letting everybody know, hey, I may be overreacting. You're not sure in what it is you're saying, but still, you're expecting everybody to take you seriously and take action on your idea. So instead of saying that, I would say, I have some concerns, and here's why. And then list your valid concerns. People will listen to you. There'll be action points that come out of that conversation. They'll make you more effective, and others will listen to you more steadily. I guess the question is, people will listen to what it is you have to say. If you say something, you know, other than I may be overreacting, but say, I'd like to discuss this issue because, okay, you've let them know, you know, I want to discuss this further, and here's why, and then tell them why. Or, I feel strongly about this, here's why. You see, every time you're giving your emotional opinion in a non-confrontational way, and then you're given reasonings behind your feelings after. And you know, you don't have to justify yourself to anybody, and that's not what I'm suggesting that you do. But I'm just suggesting that instead of starting a statement that undermines you personally, say something different that reinforces others' confidence in your opinion. And if you say something like, I'd like to express my perspective, even if it may differ from what we're doing right now. You know, that tells everybody, hey, you have some questions, and right now you're questioning things, and that's okay. It's okay to question things. In fact, you know what? From some great questions have come some great answers, and from some great answers, millions of dollars have been made, okay? So ask questions, feel effective and confident in what it is you're going to say, and others will listen to you. I'm just suggesting you avoid a few phrases that, you know, traditionally can make others in personal and business situations question, you know, what's next. Another comment that I hear people make quite often that I sometimes think, why do we say that? I'm not the right person to ask. You know, anytime somebody says that to me, I think, okay, well, we can't be experts in everything, right? And we also need to be self-aware of that fact. So somebody has just let me know, hey, I'm not the right person to ask. And while it is honest to admit when we don't have the right answer, I would prefer that somebody offer me assistance or direct me to the person whom they might know that is more confident in asking and answering my question. So when I go to somebody, it's sort of a dead end, right? I ask somebody a question and they're like, I'm not the right person to ask. And then for the most part, folks usually step away from the conversation, leaving you at a dead end, and then your confidence in going back to that person in the future is less. Like, why would I go to them? I usually go to the person that I inevitably find that answers my question, because I then have confidence in their ability to be able to respond to me, right? So what I recommend saying, instead of telling others, I'm just not the right person to ask and stepping away, I would say, although it's not my area of expertise, I can certainly help you with, and then let them know what it is about their questioning or what it is that they need that you can help them with. Or, you can just say something like, I may not have all the details, but I can point you in the right direction regarding this, and then point the person into the direction where you feel they could best have their problem mitigated or their question answered. But help people. Help them. Never leave them at a dead end, okay? Always work with others, and they'll see you as a value add because you admitted in a confident way that you didn't have the answer, but you still help them by directing them down the path to where they can actually either self-help or get the answer from somebody else, okay? So I think that's awesome, and I do have another one here. I'm sorry for bothering you. How many times? It seems like I remember back when I worked in the W-2 world, and I would go to a boss or a superior. They would be working, and you always walk in the office and say, I'm sorry for bothering you, but, and again, we're starting a statement with an apology, and saying sorry too often, when it isn't needed, it definitely implies a lack of confidence, right? So we want to make sure that we're not apologizing all the time, but we are apologizing when necessary. You do something wrong, you make a mistake, you offend somebody, an apology is the right thing. But walking into a conversation where no activity has occurred yet and just up front saying, I'm sorry, sorry for bothering you. Why? They're there to help you. They want to be effective as well. So instead, I would just try saying, I understand you're busy, but, or I'm interested in your thoughts on this matter, and then state your question. You're letting them know up front that this is important and that you're interested in their response. You are placing value on them up front. Much better to place value on somebody up front than to apologize to them up front. Wouldn't you agree? I know you're getting a lot out of this. Let's just keep going here. I want to keep this going. I got a few more, and then we're going to move on, and we're going to have a beautiful day, okay? Another thing that I hear people say quite often that, I think is kind of odd is, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try, or let's give it a shot, or the famous last words for many people, right? Apart from that, let's give it a shot or let's give it a try communicates a negative expectation about the outcome, in my opinion. And it can diminish confidence. So some things I would suggest other than let's give it a try or let's give it a shot, I'm confident we can make this work. I'm eager to see the positive outcome from our actions. And this all sounds very different from the commonplace conversations that we have. But I'm just recommending some changes. You want to change your life, you got to change your life. You want people to see you differently, you have to be different. So try some of these phrases. This is a great way to show people that you're making changes. It also shows increased confidence because you have the ability to speak a little bit differently, to be a little bit different of a person. So, I would also say things like, I'm optimistic about our chances, and then continue with what it is that you were originally going to give a try to, or I have faith in our team's capabilities too, And then talk about what it is that you're going to do and why you feel confident in your team's capabilities. Build people up. They'll follow you. They'll love you. People like positive people who provide value to the circumstance and see positivity in every situation. Talk to people about what can be done, not what can't be done, or talk to people about what you feel will work, not what you think might work. Let's give this a shot. Let's give this a try. Hey, how about we have some conviction? Let's move forward together as a team. Let's get this done. Let's be positive. Let's work together. Talk with confidence. Show people that you're there to get the job done. You're confident in yourself and you have extreme abilities that allow you to be effective. I just think this sounds much better to say these other phrases I've recommended than the let's give it a try or let's give it a shot. Another thing that I'm totally guilty of this, and I say this a lot, and it's the I'm just lucky. People will give you a compliment and they'll say, hey, you've accomplished a lot in your life. That's amazing. And then immediately, oh, I was just lucky, or, I was just in the right place at the right time. That may be true, but I'll also tell you that when I personally make the statement, I was just lucky, or I was just in the right place at the right time, immediately I've downplayed my abilities to those individuals, and I've also downplayed the achievements and the accomplishments it took to get here. So I don't like the I'm just lucky or the I was just in the right place at the right time phrase. Luck might have had some role in my personal success, but like being in the right place at the right time, like I had mentioned. But I'm confident that when people say, I'm just lucky, or I was just in the right place at the right time, they themselves don't personally believe that. Because you know what? I know that's not 100% true. I was there. I went through the milestones. I had to live the life, okay? I had to sleep in my car. I had to be poor and have absolutely no money, no way to feed my family because I was a starving entrepreneur. So I know what it took to get here. And it's okay to be humble and to not want to show off. But I tell you what, I'm definitely a person that's known for downplaying my own success. You're not going to see any videos here where we go to my garage and look at all my cars, or I walk you around my big house. This is not an episode of MTV Cribs, okay? This is, and so as a result, the next time that you feel like playing the I'm just lucky card, or I was just at the right place at the right time, you know what? Remind yourself and others of the hard work you've put in and acknowledge it out loud. Tell them the truth. Tell them how hard you had to work to get where you are today. Because you know what? That's going to do two things. It's going to reinforce with yourself what it took to accomplish all the amazing things you've accomplished. You know what else it might just do? It might motivate and inspire them to work hard too. Remember, some people are just hanging on by a thread, and you never know when you're that thread. Some people see you in ways that you don't see yourself. As a result, when you just tell them, I was just lucky, you know what? The value add is less. But when you tell them, I had to work hard, and then tell them some personal circumstance stories about how you did work hard. Tell them about some things you've overcome. Tell them about what it took to be as great as you are today, and it'll build them up, and it'll help them become great too. Okay, I guarantee it. You're amazing. You've done incredible things in your life. I don't care where you are, where you were, or where you're going to go. All I know is that along that path and along that trajectory, you've accomplished a lot, you've done a lot, and other people will get a value add from hearing your story. So tell your story. You're unique, amazing, and there's value in what you have to say. Okay? Another thing I hear people say that I'm not really a big fan of is, oh, it's not a big deal. How often have you heard people say that? It's very similar to what I was just mentioning, right? I was in the right place at the right time, or, I was just lucky. When you tell others it's not a big deal, you're downplaying the significance of the situation, and you're also downplaying your own achievements. So I recommend you say something different. The next time you feel like saying, oh, it wasn't a big deal, somebody gives you a compliment or says thank you, don't say it was not a big deal. Try saying something like, I'm proud of what I've accomplished, or I was happy to do that for you. I was grateful for the opportunity. Tell them that. Say, I'm excited about the possibilities that this is going to bring about. Or maybe I was honored to be a part of this. I like that one. I like it when people say, hey, Doug, thank you for helping me with that. And I just can tell them, I was honored to be a part of your journey. Thank you for letting me be a part of that. Sometimes it generates additional conversation, and we get to start talking about entrepreneurship, or one of my favorite topics, family and being a parent. And so I recommend using those phrases instead of the old, it's not a big deal. I was honored to be a part of this. I'm excited about the possibilities this will bring about. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm proud of what I've accomplished here. Be proud. Place significance in what it is that you do on a daily basis, in the value add that you provide to others, because it is significant and not everybody's doing it every day. It makes you special, it makes you amazing, and I think it's fantastic that you're out there doing great things and helping others. You should feel fantastic about it too. Okay? One more phrase here, to be honest. I totally dislike this. I have several friends up front before they'll make a comment. They'll say, Doug, to be honest, oh my God, it makes my head want to explode. Because, it definitely inadvertently applies that you're not always honest. And it can also signal that the forthcoming statement that's about to come out of your mouth is somehow not honest. I mean, when somebody says, to be honest, I immediately think, okay, whatever they're going to say is going to be a lie. Or whatever's coming at me right now is not going to be 100% honest. I just feel that way. I don't know why. Maybe you feel that way too. I dislike that phrase, Doug, to be honest. And then, well, why do you got to say to be honest? Why do you have to reinforce the fact that what's about to come out of your mouth is honest? Are you dishonest most of the time and you have to signify or gesture when honesty's about to occur? I'm just, and I'm not being hard on anybody. It's something I just don't like. Instead of to be honest, I prefer, in my opinion. Tell people, Doug, in my opinion, or, Steve or Sarah, in my opinion, or let me be direct about this fact. I like that too. Let me be direct. Or if you would allow me to share this fact, that's great. Those are great alternatives to be honest. I just don't like to be honest. And I've already stated the reasons why. I'm going to move on. I have one last one, and it's only my opinion, but and it's a phrase that also makes us just sound less confident. It tells others that our opinion doesn't matter that much. It also sounds too humble, which makes us look weak in certain situations. And I got to be honest with you. I recommend never saying, it's only my opinion, but, well, you know what? It may only be your opinion, but it may be the best damn opinion in the room. And it may also be the best damn thing I've heard all year. So don't downplay what it is that's about to come out of your mouth. Because you know what? It could fundamentally be the best suggestion ever. And we may retire, okay? You never know. I just recommend avoiding that at all costs. Some recommendations I have to avoid the old, it's only my opinion, but is from my standpoint, or personally, I believe, or I also sometimes say, I would argue that, and then make the statement. I would argue that, that's a great, that whatever it is. I'm not going to make something up right now very well. But, there you have it. It's 15 phrases to avoid if you want to sound more confident. I'm trying to put a lot of content out here and come up with some different ideas of things that I want to share that I think will help us to be more successful, to feel more successful, to look more successful to others, so they'll see us as a leader and want to do business with us or want to join us as we work towards a more beautiful life and achieve our goals. Most people probably feel like, hey, Doug, I'm already confident. I don't need you to tell me how to talk. And you know what? The whole thing is we just want to make sure that we present ourselves in the most positive light possible. These are just suggestions. I'm not indicating in any way that you're anything but an amazing individual with incredible abilities and incredible insights. I'm just giving you some suggestions on how you might better share that incredible insight, okay? I believe in you, friends. I think you're amazing. I care about you so much, and I hope you have the most wonderful day. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about some amazing stuff. We're going to continue to work together as we go down this path of success. And I know that when we're done someday, as we move forward here, you're going to be better for the journey, and so am I. Take care, friends. Have a great day.